this is Saima at Red Tree Tarot, and I'm here to do a deck review for the Book of Shadows Tarot by Barbara Moore. And this is called the As Above, So Below Complete Edition. It's got 2 tarot decks in it. I got my deck at Reflections Bookstore in Coquitlam, Canada, but I believe you can get this online as well. And the price is somewhere around $40 or so, between 40 to 50. And here are the decks. So let's look at the first deck, which is full of symbolism. It's got a dark blue shade border around, and it has the symbolism of the moon here. The new moon, the full moon, and the waning moon, symbolizing the maid, the mother, and the crone. And since the moon is about the feminine energies and the unconscious, this is an interesting symbolism. We can see that inside this moon, the full moon, there's a pentacle in there, which is a 5-sided figure. So this particular one is called As Above. So we see that the imagery is fairly dark and lots of symbolism here. So lots and lots of symbolism here. For example, let's look at Arcana 16 here, which is a celebration of sorts. 6 here, Lover's card. This is the Lover's card. In the Rider-Waite, that's the Lover's card. So we have the 6 here, and we have a celebration, a coming together of the divine, a masculine and the divine feminine. I say divine because they're somewhere in the cosmos, they're floating around, and what is happening below is a ritual of some sort, ceremony of some sort, to connect with these strong energies. So what is unconscious is usually that which is represented by symbols, because that is the only way that we can connect with the unconscious, is through symbols. And whether we use a regression or whether we use a tarot deck, we can connect to our unconscious in various ways. And in this deck, that is the idea, as above. So this is what is happening perhaps in somebody's subconscious. If somebody does a reading using this deck, then they'll be talking more to the shadow side, to other elements of the unconscious, the archetypes, for example, that the person is resonating with. So if you're a fan of Joseph Campbell, or you're a fan of Carl Jung, or their work on, or at least Carl Jung's work on the shadow side, this deck may resonate quite a bit, as well as if you're interested in mythology, especially the work of Joseph Campbell. I think you're going to really enjoy this deck. The decks are available separately as well. So I got both the decks because they were fascinating to me. But you can find these decks by themselves as well. So we have 6 of air here. Let me show you this. 6 of air here. And we see these little beings coming out. And I'm going to show you a few other cards so you can get a sense of it. This one is really interesting. This is a tree symbolizing growth and healing, and 9 of air. So there are all these birds going about on top of the tree, but the tree is really solid and well planted. So what we're thinking is birds are visitors, and just like thoughts, thoughts are visitors in our mind. Birds are visitors, and they're just here for a short while, and then they go away. So let's look at this one. 5 of fire. So there's quite a lot of depth and breadth in this tarot deck, and it's fairly rich with meanings. I think this is the Ace of Wands, symbolized by fire, candles, and it does come with a book. So there is a book which can help you delve deeper. This is an interesting card, perhaps one of the lighter cards. The cards are fairly dark, as you must see in this video as well. This is the 3 of water or 3 of cups, and somebody's celebrating. They look very light-hearted right now. There's a light-hearted energy about them. It seems like it's springtime, bit misty, but looks like trees are in bloom. And this deck really suggests to me that place between dreaming and waking, and quite interesting how the artists have captured that in this deck. Look at this interesting one. 6 of earth. We see little dwarves. So we see some interesting imagery here. We see dwarves in some of them, like we see 2 of earth. So the earth whenever there is an earth card, there's a dwarf in there, symbolizing the hard work that dwarfs do. That it's they're small and they're steady and they keep working at something. There are lots of trees in this deck, and this is 16 omens. That's a very interesting way to interpret the tower. Some lightning has struck the tower, and something is not meant to be. Something, a hand of fate. Something's just not meant to be. So the tower card is, I think, very well represented in this interpretation. The tower as in the Rider-Waite tower. This is interesting. We've got a bit of symbolism from gods and goddesses is here. So there's a multiculturalism about the symbolism. 6 of water. So if you're drawn to pagan or pantheism or Wicca, I think you're going to really enjoy this deck. If you're just generally interested in symbolism and mythology, you'll enjoy this deck. One of the things I really like about this deck is that it's fairly thick. So the cards are fairly thick, as you can see, easy to shuffle, and the size is kind of comfortable for my hands. And I find it easy to shuffle these cards. So I'm going to put this one away and bring out the other deck for you to look at and see if this is the deck you'd like to work with. So put this aside. Let this one open. So this is volume 2. This is also connected with the Tarot Association, Los Carabio, and this is they are the publishers. Volume 1 goes here. This is the Book of Shadows, volume 2. So we have noticing the edging is a light olive green all around to help you distinguish from the other deck. I like the coloring, the subtlety, and then let's look at these cards. So we have, more human images. We have the 2 of Wands depicted. She's got some power. She's got a a scepter, she's got a wand, she's got fire, she's got some initiative, she's got some energy, and she's looking at this globe about to make something happen. So I like that interpretation. This one is particularly interesting as well. We see a few people working together. Looks like they're all somewhat involved in a certain project. We see these salamanders around, and they seem to be also looking at each other. So there's some energies here that go beyond the purely human, but very much on the earthly plane. You can see the expressions of the people aren't exactly pleased with each other. This person seems to be being told off by this person here, and this lady here, and here's somebody else trying to, get involved as well, trying to see what's wrong, if they can fix it. Somebody's trying to be helpful, somebody's being passive, and there's another person who's sort of calling the shots, but they're sort of behind the scenes. They're sort of standing and watching what's going on, and they've got their arms crossed, so they're not just don't look too thrilled with what is happening. There's a bit of a frown here, a bit of a frown here, so it seems like there's stress about something. So that I thought was a really well depicted Five of Wands. There are some. Here's another one. We see an interesting card here, Ten of Swords. So something is rising up. So very different interpretation of Ten of Swords. Usually we see Rider-Waite in that deck that somebody's lying on their face, on the front of their body with swords sticking out. But in this case, it's quite different. We see this person sort of letting go of something. This bird flying off from their hand. And it looks like there's a new beginning rather than an ending that's depicted in this card. And as we shuffle through, I just want to show you a few cards. I thought this one was funny because we see this person running and developing some strength, some actual physical strength. The colors are lighter. They are paintings, maybe like watercolor or acrylic paintings is what they look like. Lots of soft colors, but still bright, fairly bright. Like this is fairly bright here. Lots of beautiful use of color here. The Ace of Swords. A little bit of interesting interpretation with a fairy right there. And I see I really thought this was funny because the devil, look at that, sugar binge, is showing the addiction. So yes, this is a very interesting deck, and like I said earlier, you can actually just invest in one of the decks, whichever one you like, if you don't want the whole thing. The book is fairly, informative. Like each card has quite a bit of information about it, so somebody can delve into this and really enjoy it. There's lots of information for the As Above deck. So all in all, I think this product is well thought out, well planned. The quality of the cards is pretty good. Nice and thick, easy to shuffle, very smooth. It would probably fit an average, average hand really well. And that's the review for this deck. And thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or or comments, please put them in the box in below. Thank you.